What is high cadence? Will a high cadence make you faster? And also, does a higher cadence equals to more power? So those are some of the questions that I'll be answering with an actual demonstration of me riding at a high cadence in this GoPro footage right here. Now this footage right here is actually shot a few months before MCO 3.0. So I was doing a solo ride in KIA and I came across this group, decided to tag along and see how long can I last. So as mentioned, I'll be going over the pros and cons of riding at a high cadence, and the first pro is actually, will a higher cadence make you more powerful? Now the short answer to this is yes, because the formula to get power is that in cycling we take the torque that we put into the pedals times our cadence. So for a small rider like me who is not really able to put out a lot of torque, in order for me to generate that high power output, in order for me to stay with that wheel, is that I need to increase the amount of times that I produce that torque, so increase the frequency of it, aka which means your cadence. So I need to spin faster in order to make up for that low torque that I'm putting into the pedals. So if we take the torque and times our cadence, we get our power output. Now right here you see in the footage right here, it's a 4-man sort of breakaway type of effort. Now they're simulating sort of a cat and mouse chase that you will most likely experience in a race. And for me, just to hold that wheel alone, this is costing me around 200 to 300 watts. Now I know that is not a lot of power, those are actually rookie numbers, right? But for where I'm at right now, my fitness level and my size, of course, 200 to 300 watts, it's a bit of an effort for me. And so that is why I need I know you can't see the numbers that are on my Garmin right now because I don't have any number overlays, but I can assure you that the speed right now is above 40, anywhere between 40 to 50 kilometers per hour. I know it doesn't look fast in the GoPro, but it is fast in real life. My cadence is at always above 100, and the power that I'm putting out is anywhere between 200 to 300 watts. So you can see, just for me to hold the wheel, I'm actually not doing any turns here. I'm just opening up a gap. As you can see, this rider at the side over here is coming back to recover. So I'm opening up a gap for them to come in, and I just stay at the back of the group. And also the second pro of riding at such a high cadence is that in high intensity efforts like this, it prolongs your fatigue period, right? So you can actually go out and experiment with this yourself. You can do one ride where you're averaging 50 to 60 RPM in cadence, low cadence type of ride, and then the second ride you go out, you average your natural cadence, so anywhere between 80 to 100. And I can for sure tell you that you will feel that the first low cadence type of ride, you feel that although the intensity is the same, you feel that your legs and your knees fatigue a lot more quicker, and that is because that you are building a lot of lactate acid in your legs, and because you are spinning so slow, you are not able to flush out those lactate acid, and so that is why you feel fatigue a lot more quicker. Whereas if you spin faster, yes, at the end of the day your legs will still feel tired and you still feel fatigued, but the question is how long or how quick will you feel fatigue. And so if you spin faster, essentially what happens is that you are able to flush out those lactate acid that you build up in your legs much more frequently, and so that is why I say it will prolong your fatigue period, especially in high intensity efforts like this, where you're riding fast, the power is really high. You spin faster, you'll be able to last much longer. You can see that all four riders, I would say all four riders in this breakaway, you look at the rider in front of me, all of us are spinning very high cadence, and that is because we all understand that this is a high intensity effort, and if you don't spin for the win, you're gonna go out the back, you're gonna get dropped. You can see this yellow rider in front of me, he's having a cadence that is a little bit slower compared to what the rest are doing, but still considered pretty high cadence. The blue shirt in front of this yellow guy, he's spinning pretty fast, and two of these riders are actually the Sarawak cycling team riders, so they are state/national type of riders, so they are fast, they know what they are doing, they are not here to play around, they are here to drop your ass. Yeah, so you can see I'm opening up a gap for this rider to come in again, because at the moment I'm just trying to stay on that wheel, and this is actually right next to our right hand side here, this is actually Kuala Lumpur International Airport, so KIA. This is our main airport, and the winds here are pretty strong, you know, crosswind. So I know it doesn't look fast and I know it doesn't look intense, but for me just to stay on that wheel, it's costing me 200 to 300 watts. So that is why I need to increase my cadence to maintain the high power output, and also to flush out the lactate acid much more quicker so that I can last longer and do not feel fatigued so fast. So fast forward a few moments, as you can see, our riders are starting to pull off because they're really starting to get tired and bomb. And for whatever reason, I decided to, you know what, I'm gonna give it a try. I'm gonna try to take a pull. And in a moment, you can actually see the third pro of riding at a high cadence right in action in a few moments. So the third pro that we are talking about is actually sharp acceleration. Now right here, I'm second wheel, so after this rider pulls off, it's my turn to pull to the front. And at this moment right here, right now, I'm actually pretty fatigued, so my cadence is actually dropping. And the riders that just recovered just now, they're lined up behind me, they're ready to go. And just as I pull to the front, the riders at the back straight away attack over the top. They can tell that I'm fatigued, I'm tired, I have a low cadence, I'm grinding. So straight away, they know what to do. They attack right over the top. And you can see that the cadence of them is actually very high, and that shows that when you have a high cadence, automatically your acceleration will be a lot more sharper, which is the third point, right? As we mentioned, when you have a high cadence in situations like this, right, when it is high intensity and you're trying to make an attack effort, having that high cadence will give you that snap, right? It will give you that snap right straight away after you attack. No one can cling onto your wheel. And you can see here, although the GoPro footage doesn't really show very well, but they're up the road, right? Automatically, you know, a 10-15 second gap. Yeah, you can sort of see them in a distance here. So because of that sharp acceleration, that high cadence, they are able to create that gap between us and them. And this doesn't necessarily apply to race situations only. If you're out on a road, you're trying to cross a traffic light, you're trying to cross road, cross junction, and then there's car coming from behind, having that high cadence and having that sharp acceleration will actually allow you to cross that road quicker. So right here, all of us have decided to sit up. You can see the two riders there, they are up down the road, they're up on the road. You can see them in the distance right there. And so the one con that I can think of whenever you're riding at a high cadence is that it takes a toll on your cardiovascular system, because riding at this intensity, riding at this high cadence, it takes somewhat of a fitness level to maintain this type of effort level. So because of that, although your legs are gonna feel a lot more fresher, but your heart rate is gonna climb a lot quicker, and you're gonna feel that, you know, your cardio system is at work. And so that is why I think that it's important to time this high cadence effort at the right time. So whenever you're going fast, whenever there's this sort of high intensity efforts in a race, this is where high cadence really matters the most. Although it's a bit stressing on your cardio system, but your legs will feel a lot more fresher and you will last a lot more longer. And for the rest of the time, when you're going slow, trying to recover, then that is where you slow down your cadence, and allow your cardiovascular system to recover as well, to drop your heart rate. So that is some situations where you can go high cadence and low cadence. And so that is it for this short video. Unfortunately, I do not have a camera with me today, so I'm only able to do a voiceover over this GoPro footage. So that is all I have to share really. The TikTok account, I created a new TikTok account. It's live, link is down in the description below, and remember to subscribe to this channel for more cycling related tips and tricks.